Wait. Yes. Okay, so welcome, Rishabh. So let me give you congratulations for getting all area rank 36. Okay, from Tamil Nadu, na? From Fiji, and
Yeah.
you're on behalf of my all junior students who are also like to be getting this rank. Yes. So, and coming to here, giving your proper guidance and counseling. Children, so Rishabh is he was the student in 9th and 10th in 2018 to 20. Correct, Rishabh? In KK Nagar.
Yeah.
Right. And Rishabh, I want to ask, like, did you join previously any coaching institute before joining to Fiji?
Nothing I did for JEE.
Nothing.
A bit of classes for Olympiads, but
That's
nothing
all.
serious at all.
Miss Fiji was your first journey, right?
Yes, Fiji, and I never joined anywhere from until my JEE. All I did was Fiji.
Very good, very good. So children see here. So he joined to Fiji, and when he joined to Fiji, I think he faced some difficulty. Right, he was feeling there are some more competitive students are there. Right, especially I think Balaji was there. Right, isn't it?
Yeah, Balaji was an insanely smart guy.
Yes. Did you?
Yes, sir. So what I want to tell to the juniors is it's not like if you're doing above average in your school exams, you'll do well in Fiji. It's a different sport. It's like saying if you run well in 100 meters, you can run a marathon. That's not how it works, right? It's almost the same thing, but it's a different game altogether. So it will be completely new, and things will be difficult. Things will be uncomfortable, but you will face some difficulties, but it's easy to get over it.
Wait, just light with blinking. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You can continue, Rishabh. You are settling something.
Yeah, nothing. I was done.
Nothing.
I was just talking about how doing well in school exams and doing well in JEE or Fiji exams is completely different.
Okay, so this is the Rishabh experience, and he is telling truth, children, because when Rishabh was joining, so at that time, actually, you know that Balaji Ramchandran, he studied from class 6, so he know most of the concept. I think, yes, Rishabh. Clear? Yes, Rishabh is a very good example. And so Balaji was also a very good student. Both my students were attending all my classes, and they are getting very good. And I feel, Rishabh, you passed the Junior Science Olympiad. That also, no?
Yeah, I passed JSO the first level. Yes.
First level he passed. He was the only pass, and I came to know by some other teachers. Okay, children.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's okay. Thank you. This is good. Okay. Then, yes, children. So, my request is that, so be ready with any questions, how we studied. Ask question regarding the subject, how to study the physics, chemistry, and this one your mathematics. Okay, Rishabh, I have questions, right? Okay, the question is here, student, we have class 9 students also there, and some class 10 students are there. 11 they will ask question accordingly. Okay, accordingly you can give answer. You just tell me if for those students who are studying in class 9th and 10th, children, anyone is from the class 8? Hello. Okay, anyhow, you can give 8 thoughts. Okay, you tell me class 8 becomes for very junior classes. So just tell me for class 8, so which are the theory chapters? See, I can also tell him, but if you tell that, things will be different. So you tell me for class 8, which are the important chapters he should study theoretically. Only for theory purpose, not for the numerical based questions. Okay. Similarly, for class 9, 10, you can tell which chapter he should study, 11th class chapter, so that when he come to class 11, he will not face any kind of problem, because 11th, 12th is totally different. Okay. So you just give me some this. Which are chapters in physics, chemistry, and mathematics? This is my question.
Okay, sir.
You can start with 9th. You can start 9th and 10th. You can get class 8. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So the truth is, your fundamentals of 9th and 10th are very important, and it's impossible to say only 1 or 2 chapters, because every chapter you have to know properly, and you have to know a bit more than what is there in your textbook. For example, 9th and 10th, some important chapters for chemistry are metals and non-metals. Then there was one chapter regarding stoichiometry, where you had to memorize the different radicals, anions, cations, and you had to form compounds. I remember there was some cross multiplication method. All those sorts of basics, something like stoichiometry, metals and non-metals, those things are pretty important. And I heard from this year that you have different chapters. The portions for J is actually changing. You have chemistry in everyday life, environmental chemistry, and I guess polymers and biomolecules was always there, but these are generally chapters in chemistry which are kind of different. They are memory based. So I don't remember too much about 9th and 10th, what chapters would relate to those. But get good in...
Yes, Risabh, you can tell about the class 11th, which are chapters they should study in class 9th and 10th. You can tell like that. You forget the 9th and 10th. Okay. Basic chapters.
Sorry?
Basic chapters. I'm asking basic chapters which are is important in class 11th. So they should study in 9th and 10th. It will become foundation. Okay.
Okay. So
okay, you can tell.
in class 11th that you can do in 9th and 10th. So physics, for example, I think mechanics is very important. Mechanics is one of the basics of physics. All those sorts of pulley problems, drawing free body diagrams, and solving 2 equations in 2 variables, 3 equations in 3 variables. All those sorts of skills are very important, and get fast and get comfortable in solving equations. Maths, algebra is very important. Make sure you can use the quadratic formula in less than 1 minute. Things like that might be useful. Get good in factorization, get good in dealing with a lot of different expressions. And I think you have a bit of coordinate geometry. It's not called coordinate geometry for sure, but in Fiji, you will be learning things like slope intercept form, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, formulas like that. So learn all those things, and yeah, that's all I would say. For chemistry, just get good in memorizing and learning the logic behind things.
Can you specify some chapters? This would be learn theory properly. This theory is very important. Sure. So they are learning organic for the first time. So is that part is enough, or they have to learn more than that?
For organic chemistry is honestly, I would consider it pretty difficult to learn in 9th and 10th. You can't learn things like Perkin reaction, aldol condensation. Those things will be difficult for you to understand in 9th and 10th. But one thing you can do very well is learn the nomenclature pakka. That's very important to do in 9th and 10th. I think that's the only thing I did properly in 9th and 10th for organic chemistry. You can read a bit. Learn the basics. What is a reagent? What is anions? What are carbocations? Maybe learn a bit about their stabilities. Learn a bit of general organic chemistry, but you don't have to go too much in detail. I don't think that's required in 9th and 10th.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, and for class 8, any like a topic you can tell, a general topic they need to study?
For class 8 standard? I think class 8 was metals and non-metals. I think you had the chapter. Also, I think you dealt with factorization a lot. You had to factorize things like x square plus 9x plus 20. Those sorts of things in maths. You'll use it throughout. So, and I think that was a difficult chapter. My sister's actually in 8th standard, and I will ask her and tell you. So what's difficult, but I think mathematics, many fundamentals are there in 8th standard. Maybe you learn a square minus b square, a plus b the whole square, things like that in 8th. I'm not very sure. Mathematics is important. Chemistry, you will learn general properties of elements, I guess. So learn those sorts of things. I think you'll learn that, the alkali metals react very vigorously with water, things like that. So just get a good fundamental understanding and understand what you're learning, understand the elements, understand the periodic table. That's pretty much all that is there.
Okay. And okay, children, then let me ask you about this one. So when you're studying for class 11th and 12th, so I'm asking this thing, for class 11th, we have to study all the chapters important, or some chapters are you have to study definitely. You have to give more weightage on that chapter. Like I'm telling to students, thermodynamics is very important. You cannot skip this chapter. So your theory also important, as well as numerical also important. So just tell like, which are the chapters is given more weightage. You cannot skip out this chapter. You tell from your side. Likewise, physics, chemistry, and math. Okay.
That's a good question and a good point. I will speak a bit on both sides, because to tell you the truth, most of my friends who got good ranks, they did not care too much about weightage. They studied every chapter like it's the most important chapter, and worked on it as if there is no other chapter. So work on every single chapter as if it's the most important chapter. Don't neglect any chapters. Learn every chapter as much as possible. But if I have to tell, I agree that thermodynamics is very important in 11th standard, because it'll come in physics also, and it's pretty fundamental. It's not an easy chapter to grasp. In mathematics, coordinate geometry is something which is kind of new. It's a big leap from 10th standard, because you'll have so many formulas and lot of propositions, lot of things to learn, and it's a chapter which deals more with practice. It's not enough if you study. You have to solve a number of questions, and you have to practice a lot of books. Trigonometry is also an infamous chapter, because I think it's the first chapter where when you have a chap test, you'll score very less, and you'll be wondering why you're doing so bad. I think everyone has gone through that. If I think few of you are in 9th and 10th, once you come to 11th and write the trigonometry chapters, you'll understand. But trigonometry it's unintuitive to many people. Which identity to use where? Why are there so many formulas? What is there to do? How do I even start this question? This person is telling this method, another person is telling another method. So maybe get good in trigonometry. I remember 10th standard had some decent questions in trigonometry, even boards and NCERT based. I think you had to rationalize many things, right? Sine theta minus cos theta plus 1 by sine theta plus cos theta plus 1. You had questions like that, I remember. So get good in manipulating, because that will be major in 11th and 12th standard.
Okay, and I have thank you for this one. And one thing I want to ask: suppose right now you got a very good rank, that is a 36 2D rank, is very good. But I hope like while solving question, you have made some more wrong. So if you're thinking like that, if I did not made that wrong, so I might get a rank in top 10 or top 20, something like that, in one digit number. So do you have that kind of what you can say that repent? Yes, if I have not done that mistake, so I would have got top 10 rank, top 50 ranks. Is that something is there?
Yeah, that's also something I can speak about. I know my rank is great, but I'm sure there'll be people who are listening to me who will be aiming for rank 1 or a top 10 rank or something better. They won't be impressed with my rank, and that's good. What I can say, and this might not be understood by you guys right now, is that one day's performance does not really define you. I prepared maybe 2 years seriously. Some people prepared 4 years seriously, six years seriously. And the fact that 6 hours defines your entire future is a bit daunting, and it's very easy to crack down under pressure. Exam temperament is very important, especially when you have difficult papers. For some people, especially when you have easy papers, because in easy papers they may get overconfident and go quickly. I'll tell you a bit about my exam. I actually have told it every time I've talked to juniors. I was shocked with the exam. Maths paper 2. there were 18 questions. I left 9 of them. I was that unconfident and uncomfortable with the level. The reason I was saved is my accuracy was really good, and I'm still proud about that, because almost all the questions I attempted, I got right. My negative markings, both papers put together, was only 4, whereas for my students, the average was like 10, 11, for some 15. So when you get a difficult paper, solve the questions which you can solve comfortably in practice. Not even the ones you can do, not even all the ones you can do in practice. The questions you can do comfortably in practice, because see, this year the highest marks was 314, right, out of 360. So obviously they would have guessed some, obviously they would have got lucky, but they did not, I'm pretty sure they did not attempt the paper thinking they were going to get full. So since my accuracy was so high, the only reason why I did not get a better score is I could not do as many questions. The thing is, if you wanted a higher rank in my paper, you had to have practiced more. I don't think if I wrote the exam on a different day, I would have got too much of a higher score, like 314, for example. So you have to practice like a machine. You have to do millions of questions. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not millions, but you have to do a lot of questions. You have to practice a lot of books. You have to work for a lot of hours in a day. And you have to make sure that no matter the paper, easy, difficult, conceptually tricky, lengthy, or lot of calculations, or many trick questions, whatever the type of paper you get, you have to do well. So consistency is key, and you have to be extremely competitive if you want to get a better rank than me. You have to, I don't think topping the class is enough, honestly. You have to make sure, okay, let's say your paper is out of 360, maybe keep a target of getting 30 marks higher than the second mark. Maybe if that's easy, try 50 marks. You have to keep pushing yourself, and you should not be satisfied with any score you get. You always have to think, why couldn't I have got more? And you have to keep working. That's the only way to get a single digit rank. Just practice like a madman, practice like a machine, and do not get tensed, or don't let your emotions affect your performance.
Right. You can keep on in touch with the teachers, right? For all doubts, don't keep your doubts pending, right?
Yeah, of course. Please ask a lot of doubts.
Yes.
There are no silly questions. I mean, people say there are no silly questions, but what they mean is, it's better to ask silly questions than to keep silent, because those silly questions will still be in your head, and the person who asks the silly questions will actually improve. The person who doesn't ask silly questions will still be bad. So please ask doubts. It's okay if you get humiliated or something. Keep asking doubts. Keep interacting with your teachers. Keep making the next step. Ask your friends for this sort of doubt. Ask your teacher, sir, I don't know, organic chemistry is too confusing for me. What sorts of books should I read? So ask them everything. Ask them how you can stay motivated, because teachers are a big resource, and they know things a lot more than just the study related thing, academic related thing. So ask them a lot of different questions, and always interact with a lot of people. That really helps.
Very good. Children have asked any questions. So any class 11 student, anyone had question, you can raise your hand. I will give you a chance. Vishal? Anyone?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes. Those who want to ask question, please raise your hand, right? Yes, Vishal. Vishal, you can ask question.
So yes, sir, like my doubt is like how do you manage 3 subjects together? Because like if you are like good at least 2 subjects, one is like on the brink of collapsing or something. So like how do you together manage 3 subjects?
Some subjects will be difficult for you by nature, in the sense, if you have not prepared in all 3 subjects, there might be 2 subjects which are good, and one subject which is not great, and you'll be struggling, and that's okay. The thing is, if you're struggling in one subject, work double the time of the other two subjects. The thing is, there's no easy formula, there's no easy trick. The only thing you can do is spend time and work like you've never worked before. For example, for me, organic chemistry was a problem. I think in my first chapters I scored some 80s out of 240. GOC was very confusing for me. I did not understand what is this. Why equivalent resonance means more stable. Phenol should be more acidic than benzoic acid. I used to have basic concept doubts. So self-analyze a lot in that chapter. And if you're not at the stage where you can do difficult questions, don't take out MS Chauhan, don't take out Himanshu Pandey. Learn the basics first and foremost. Whether it's physics, chemistry, or maths, go through your class notes. And go through the example problems you have done in class. Make sure you're crystal clear on those things. Then move on to either package or tab. Finish every single question. Some people say ignore the first 2 rows. Some people say I actually did all 6 rows. But some of my friends, they'll directly go to the 3rd assignment and go on. So the thing is, you learn more by doing more questions and not by watching YouTube videos. I think that was common. It's not a controversial advice. So just do a lot of questions. That's very important if you're bad in one subject. And to talk a little bit more, I made sure I was good in all 3 subjects. That was a conscious effort. I did not leave any subject. And don't put it in your head that this subject is not for me. I can't do mathematics. Mathematics is too complicated. There are too many lengthy calculations. The steps are very unintuitive for me. Don't have those sorts of thoughts, and just work on it and you'll be fine. You have to self-analyze a lot and see where you're going wrong, see what exactly you need to do to get better. Speak to your faculty and just get better. There's no magic formula, I guess.
Very good. Yes. Anything, Vishal? Okay. Sai
Sir,
Prasad.
and I.
Okay. Yes, Vishal, you can ask.
No, sir, and like there are what to say, like so many formulas in maths. Like for example, in coordinate there is like a section called PSL where they pair of straight lines where they give like 20 formulas for a pair of straight lines for angles, bisector containing origin and all. So like how do we know which formula to like memorize, or which formula we can remember or derive at spot or something?
If you want a really top rank, you have to memorize everything. How I did not memorize all the formula at one go. I understand the formulas you're talking about, and honestly, PSL is not too much of a problem. It'll get worse for you. Parabola, ellipse, hyperbola will have even more formula. So I understand the formula between angle of 2 straight lines. Those many formulas are very weird, containing origin. There's some weird sign convention you have to follow for that. For the acute angle, you have to follow another weird sign convention. So you will be able to learn which formulas to by heart and which formulas not to by heart only by doing questions. For example, coordinate geometry, most of my friends, they did Cengage. They did I don't know how many questions are there, but it's a lot, trust me. So do a lot of questions, and by the questions you do, you'll be able to realize what formulas to learn. And but if you want to hear a different sort of advice, I'd say just memorize everything. It will be difficult and you will keep forgetting, but try your best.
Yeah, like even when my sir says, he says like he gave 3 methods to find for a PSL the lines individually, and like when he gave the shortest method, he was like, this is the most riskiest thing you can ever do. You like you there's no 100% probability you get the answer if the numbers are not so nice. Like, so like even there itself we get the first confusion which to memorize or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. Some of my friends are so good in algebra that if you give them multiplied PSL, that I forgot the form, but ax square plus something into xy plus something y square, they'll just factorize it like that. Somehow I never understood why, but they were just that good at algebra. What I would do is I would just find the slopes of both the lines and work from there. So the thing is, it depends on the person. You don't have to learn every single method to break a PSL into 2 lines. Try to do a lot of questions in different methods and figure out what works best for you. You don't have to learn everything in that case.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I think, Risabh, we have 4 minutes time is left. Okay, so can you rejoin? So we'll get a more half an hour. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
We'll
Sure.
have, okay.
I'll rejoin once.
Can you student rejoin, because if we start talking, it will take again more 5 minutes. So meanwhile, it will break. It is better we rejoin. Okay. So I'm ending this meeting. Please rejoin after just 10-15 seconds. Okay. Yes.